Namaste. Thank you, Master Nuna. Master Marilag here speaking. I would speak about our teacher, Master Choa Kok Sui, and I want to share you how I remembered him. And before I share my story about how I remembered him, I would like to welcome you all for celebrating with us the birth of our founder of Pranic Healing, Master Choa Kok Sui. I want to share with you how I remembered him when he was still in his body, which are also alive in my memory. I started Pranic Healing, me and my husband, Glenn, started Pranic Healing in 1994. I would like to share that we are so lucky that during that time that Master Choa visited New Jersey to give workshops for from 1994 to November 2006. And I would say from 1994 to 2004, he used to stay in a house every time he taught courses in New Jersey. And it's about 3 to 4 times a year, every year. So we had the pleasure of witnessing or observing how he lived his life publicly, teaching in big crowds, and also at home as an ordinary person, as a human being. So that's what I would like to share. He is my spiritual teacher, our spiritual teacher, but what I love in him is he has all the qualities of a true guru. When I say true guru, a genuine one. When I say genuine, I've never seen a human being with all the qualities of light, love, and power rolled into one powerfully. We are all a being of light, love, and power, or divine being of light, love, and power. But how strong are those three aspects in us? We have a little bit bigger love, smaller power, or big power, smaller love, smaller light. But in Master Choa, I've seen all three powerfully, very strong in each one. The light in him, what is the light? The intelligence, the soul energy, the light, the inspiration. He was able to distill all the truth, universal truth, in all the books that he wrote. All his books are thin, nothing this thick, because he distilled the pure essence of the teachings into a simplified way that each one, an ordinary person, could understand. You don't have to like what am I reading? Like, I don't understand. He made it so simple, so understandable that each one can just dissect the truth, because he's already dissected the truth for all of us. So that's one thing. That's only a special person with so much intelligence, highly developed intelligence, highly developed spirituality can simplify. It's easy to make things complicated, but it's difficult to make complicated things into a simple version. And that's the light in him, very strong. The genius in him, I admire the genius in him. And the second one is the love aspect of Master Choa Kok Sui. Master Choa Kok Sui. The love. He goes to so many groups, so many countries, different countries, but he impacts so many people's lives. He really cares for people. If you interact with him, just a simple, how are you, Marilag? How's the family? Not even a minute, and you feel so special already. You feel like, oh, he cares for me. Even on the phone when he would call, he wouldn't say, okay, Marilag, da 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 da. He would say, how's Glenn? How's the family? How are the children? How are you doing? He always starts that way, so you feel love. And it's not just lip sync. He really meant he want to know how you're doing. And that's the personal interaction. And also I see that he does that to other people as well. So everybody feels special in his presence. And what I witnessed is we will go to cities of Los Angeles, California, New York, New Jersey, and I am the one distributing dollars to the homeless, giving money, not just $1, not just $2, big amounts to the homeless people. And he would ask me to also give money in workshops where he feels, I don't know how each one's condition is financially. He knew he can feel each one's needs. And he would ask me to give money to the people, just like that. He would give me, a lot of cash to distribute to the people because he feels people. And not only that, individually, not only to the students, but he has a wide range of charitable organizations, causes which he believed he wanted to help people. So he has a caring heart. He has MCKS charitable, where everywhere there's a calamity, feeding the hungry program. So many like people who cannot afford hospitalization. Every people who have no clothing, he would give for all causes. I've seen that. I went to the different organizations, different groups, different charitable organizations that he had helped, hospitals, schools, all sorts. And this is what I admire him. He traveled from one continent to another to spread pranic healing in his short life. And he traveled economy. Because I said, Master Choa, with your body, your soul, to travel every week to different parts of the world to spread pranic healing, to teach the different, courses that pranic healing offer. He said, it's a huge difference in amount. What I save with flying economy, I'd rather give to the poor. Who among you would do that? If I have the money, I will live luxuriously, comfortably in business class, but that's not his thinking. I would rather give it to the poor. Okay, that shows an immense love. And his love, when somebody calls him at 2:00 in the morning, he's sleeping deeply, and somebody calls from other countries, somebody called from India, Master, somebody's like needs your help, needs your healing, he would sit down and heal with no complaint. Why are they calling me at this wee hours of the morning? He is there ready to help. And he would ask me to write checks. Marilag, why don't you send this to this person? Send this to this person. He would do that. So it requires an immense heart, activated heart, loving heart, generous, giving, compassionate, merciful heart to be able to do that. Okay, so that and that loving aspect trickles to his healing power. I've seen, he comes to New Jersey 3 to 4 times a week, a month. A year. And we also, my husband and I, and my kids, we travel during his lifetime to the different parts of the world, wherever he was teaching. And I've seen him heal in the class or privately in his room, healing what seemed to be impossible medically. I've seen him heal a blind person in Brazil. I've seen him from a wheelchair. I've seen walked from somebody in a wheelchair, walked. I've seen him herniated disc, really, really bad herniated disc, where 3 surgeons said, come tomorrow, we have to do the operation. And how he healed him just like that. Person jumping up and down, doing jumping jacks, and the pain never went back. And one specific one that I will never forget was someone who had a damaged nerve in the spinal cord that caused him paralysis of the feet, that he cannot tap, he cannot move his toes, nothing. He just just for 26 years, you know, he was a medical doctor, so he knew medically there's nothing can be done. So he never healed himself, though he was a pranic healer. So Master Choa healed him on a Friday, and then on a Sunday, he was able to tap dance, move his feet for 26 years that was paralyzed, right? So this is one thing, the power that he had, the healing power, is I attribute to his humility. So it was in a convention, everybody was like, wow, 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 wow. At that time, I was skeptic. I was like maybe 5 years into pranic healing is in my mind. So come on, you know, that cannot be healed. 26 years paralyzed, medically, there's nothing can be done. But the impossible was possible. And we were all clapping. I was like, wow, wow, wow. And then this is one thing I will never forget in my memory. He said, almost teary-eyed, with so much humility, he said, with God's help and all the messages of God, all the healing angels, healing ministers, and my teacher, with God's help, nothing is impossible. And he's like teary-eyed. He was touched by the power of God and the healing angels, healing ministers, and by his teachers' help. They helped him. But for me, he was a good transmitter. Someone with immense power will be a very good transmitter of that healing power of God. He was able to heal almost miraculously someone who was paralyzed for 26 years. Okay, that's immense power. And I've seen him in New Jersey. And so what's wrong with you? Master, my back hurts, my spine. They will say my back pain. I've been suffering from this for the past 5, 10, 15 years, different people. And all he will say, there's nothing wrong with you. Your back is strong, healthy, your spine is aligned. He will say all these things and just power force. And will say, how's your back? And I said, Master, no more pain. See, I mean, for me, that's really a powerful teacher, someone with immense energy. So I've seen this. I could go on and on with all the stories that I've witnessed by being with him. That's why I love traveling wherever he went that time, because he interacted with so many people asking for healing, for blessings, and how I saw how it transformed their lives. Anyway, the main mission of Pranic Healing is to alleviate human suffering. And someone with that mission who spent all his life spreading Pranic Healing to alleviate human suffering globally, that requires an immense love for humanity. So my teacher, Grandmaster Choa Kok Sui, has all these three aspects rolled into one. And not just rolled like that, powerfully rolled into one. And that's my teacher, Grandmaster Choa Kok Sui. On his birthday, Master Choa, happy Founders Day. For me, he was my father, my mentor, my friend, my guru, my spiritual teacher, my financial advisor, all rolled into one. I love him dearly, and of course, we all missed him. But know that his spirit continues to live, and we can always ask for his help anytime. On this Founders Day, we all celebrate the birth of a great person. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for allowing me to share with you my memories of my dear teacher, my guru, my friend, my advisor, my mentor, my father. Thank you. Thank you for watching, and let's all celebrate.